Do you know the right way to store anchovies? Anchovies are a familiar ingredient in dishes like salads or preserved in oil as salted anchovies. But because they're small and spoil easily, they can go bad quickly if not stored properly, losing their flavor, becoming slimy, and even posing a risk to your health. A lot of people still make the mistake of storing anchovies the wrong way in the fridge, or relying on old-fashioned methods that just don't work well. So, how can you keep your anchovies fresh, tasty, and safe to eat for longer? In today's video, I'm going to share 3 simple, effective tips for storing anchovies the right way. Easy enough to do right at home. Let's get started. After buying anchovies, start by prepping them. Cut off the heads and remove the guts. A quick and simple trick to do this with small anchovies is to gently pinch the area between the head and the body, then lightly pull the head off. As you pull in the direction of the body, the guts will come out on their own, so there's no need to cut the belly open with a knife. You can do this while the fish is still fresh and slightly wet. This helps prevent the guts from breaking and keeps the fish from getting too fishy. I've added subtitles in multiple languages. Please choose your preferred language, leave a comment below, and let me know where you're watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Next, rinse the anchovies several times in clean water until there's no blood or slime left. This helps clean the fish thoroughly, removes the fishy smell, and gets them ready for the next step. Then, drain the fish well until completely dry. Once dry, place the anchovies in a large bowl. Add about 2 tablespoons of salt and mix well so the fish absorbs the seasoning. After that, pour in 40 milliliters of vinegar and gently mix again. This helps get rid of any remaining odor and adds more flavor. Let the anchovies soak in the bowl for about 10 to 15 minutes so the salt and vinegar can fully absorb. While waiting for the anchovies to absorb the seasoning, get your airtight glass jars ready. Wash the jars and lids with water, then sterilize them by either blanching them in boiling water or drying them in the oven at 100 degrees Celsius, about 212 degrees Fahrenheit, for around 10 minutes. Let the jars cool completely before adding the fish. Once the anchovies are done marinating, place a few whole black peppercorns and 1 tablespoon of chili powder at the bottom of each jar. This adds fragrance and helps preserve the fish better. Neatly arrange the anchovies in the jars, pressing them down gently to save space, but be careful not to crush them. Once the jars are full, pour about 40 to 50 milliliters of vegetable oil into each one, just enough to completely cover the fish inside. Next, you'll need a large pot to move on to the heat sterilization step. This process helps the anchovies last longer and ensures they're safe to eat. First, lay a clean cloth or thin towel on the bottom of the pot. This step is very important because it helps prevent the glass jars from bumping directly against the pot during boiling, which can reduce the risk of jars breaking due to sudden temperature changes or movement. After lining the bottom, carefully place the sealed jars of anchovies into the pot. Make sure the jars are upright, not stacked on top of one another, and spaced out just enough to allow hot water to circulate evenly around each jar. This ensures even heat distribution. The anchovies cook evenly, and the sterilization process works more effectively. Next, slowly pour clean water into the pot, being careful not to shift the jars. The water level should be about 2 to 3 centimeters, around 1 inch, above the tops of the jars to make sure they are fully submerged. This is necessary to ensure the anchovies inside are evenly heated and properly sterilized. Important note: use cold or room temperature water when filling the pot. Do not use hot water, as it can shock the jars and cause them to crack or break. Once the water is added, cover the pot with a lid and simmer over low heat continuously for 3 hours. This process not only cooks the anchovies, but also thoroughly sterilizes the contents of the jars. After boiling, turn off the heat, remove the lid, and let the jars cool completely inside the pot. Once cooled, carefully take out each jar, wipe the outside dry with a clean towel, and check to make sure the lids are tightly sealed. Finally, I stored them in a dry, well-ventilated place without using a refrigerator, and they stayed good for 6 months to a year. Every time you take anchovies out to use, always use clean, dry utensils to help maintain their quality over time. Do not use your hands directly, and avoid letting water get inside the jars. After each use, close the lid tightly and return the jar to the fridge right away. The second method. First, if the anchovies have already been rinsed but are still wet, you should pat them dry as thoroughly as possible using clean paper towels. Drying the fish before freezing helps prevent surface ice crystals from forming and keeps the anchovies in better condition during storage. Next, divide the anchovies into small portions based on how much you'll use each time you cook. Then, place the portions into Ziploc bags. Make sure to spread the fish out into a thin, even layer. This makes it easier to take out and thaw just what you need and helps prevent the fish from freezing into one big solid block. After placing the fish in the bags, use a straw or a vacuum sealer to remove all the air from each bag. Then seal it tightly. Repeat this process with the remaining bags. Neatly arrange the bags in the freezer. Avoid stacking them too high so the anchovies don't get crushed. When frozen properly, at a temperature of -18 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or lower, anchovies can be stored for about 2 to 3 months while still maintaining their flavor and quality. Give this method a try to store your food more effectively. Let's look at the third method. You'll need an airtight container or a food storage box with a lid. Before placing the anchovies inside, line the bottom of the container with a thin layer of paper towel. This layer helps absorb moisture, which reduces the fishy smell and slows down spoilage. Next, neatly arrange all the remaining anchovies in the container. Then seal the lid tightly to prevent air from getting in and to keep bacteria out. Place the container in the refrigerator if you only have a small amount of anchovies and plan to use them soon. Ideally, within 1 to 2 days. Storing at this temperature helps keep the fish fresh until you're ready to cook them. However, keep in mind that you shouldn't leave the anchovies in the fridge for too long. After this short time, their quality will begin to decline, and there's a risk of harmful bacteria developing that could affect your health. That's the end of the video. If you have any other tips for storing anchovies, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please hit the like button to support me, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you won't miss any useful tips. And don't forget to share this video with your family and friends so they can try it too. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. Goodbye and see you in the next video.